Darn, there we go again. Good day, everybody. Welcome to today's video. Today's video, we're going to do a little bit of bitching and complaining about poor customer service and companies, in my opinion, that don't have their shit together. Before we get started on that rant, seems like my Cherokee is a magnet for window chips. So I just got it in the garage for right now. And this is the kinetic rope I picked up from Princess Auto. 50 bucks, 20 foot, 7/8, safe working load, 10,000 pounds. That should be more than enough for yanking out a Jeep or something in case I get stuck or someone gets stuck. Oh yeah, that's super beefy. And I love that color green too. I think it'll be well worth the $50. So now we're going to talk about my experience dealing with MFC Off-Road. It's like a company that deals with Cherokee KLs like I got, and I believe Colorados and Canyons too for some aftermarket parts. So this is going back to August. I ordered this kit in August, and at that time, their shipping and refund details or whatever said within 3 to 5 weeks the item would be shipped out. And I'm like, fine, I could wait all that time. So ordered it in August. September passes. Middle of October comes around, and I emailed them. I said, it's already passed what your terms were for refunds and shipping. I said, it's already past that terms. Where's my order? Right? It says 3 to 5 weeks for shipping. There's been no update, no nothing. And a few days later, I get this email come back saying, oh yeah, we're still waiting on some parts for your order. It's going to be another 10 days or so. So I'm like, okay, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to wait. So then I waited like another 10 days. Still nothing, no update to the shipping. So I went to PayPal and I started to file a claim against them. Put all the details, all the emails, put them in a PDF, and the tracking number at that point in time was already like, they gave me a UPS tracking number, but for 15 days, all it said was shipping label created. So at that point in time, I said, I don't want this item anymore. I ordered it in August. It's been like 2.5 months. I want a refund. I mean, this is bullshit. And like 3 days before the case was supposed to close, this item shows up after I already said I don't want it. And then with UPS, you got to pay customs and duty fees. So I was refusing to accept the order or pay for the customs and duty fees to have it sent back because I didn't want it. Then UPS screwed me by dropping it off on my step without the customs paid. So now I'm going to get hooped with a customs form in the mail that I'm going to argue with them because I didn't authorize them to do the customs and duties for me. And I'm not paying that fucking price either. So then I got hooped out of this deal. So now I'm going to install this with all the fucking hate and rage I got. If you have a business and if you have parts for something, don't have it listed for sale. Just say temporary out of stock on your website. We'll email you when we come in. Because if I'm spending my money, if your shipping terms say 3 to 5 weeks, it better be fucking shipped out in that time. I shouldn't have to file a PayPal claim and then get my product after I said I no longer want it. It's complete bullshit. So that's my deal with MFC Off-Road. That's my experience. I mean, unless you guys own a Cherokee KL or Colorado or Canyon, you're probably not even gonna know that place existed. But that's my rant, and now we're gonna install this fucking piece of shit and get the show on the road. Now we're gonna mount that dock. I need to pull this up. We need to start prying in there to get this speaker cover out. So we need to pop this up. Alright, close that up. Let's pull this right out. Perfect, we got her out now. We got some screws in there that we got to pull out. There's 4 screws to take out, but unfortunately my butterfingers got in the way and one fell down into the abyss there. This needs to go mounted right like that. So mounting this bar, I gotta make sure that the screws go towards this piece because you're gonna have to take that center bar out in order to fasten this thing down. It's just the way it is, the way it's set up. So the kit did come with a USB, but I'm not going to install it. I'll wait till I can find one that is USB-C, because that's what everything's going to. And now I need to pull those 2 screws out. We got 4 long screws. Hopefully I don't lose any of them. The new plate and my ratchet. So let me just put this plate up top. Gonna grab our screws. And I got 2 1-inch ram mounts to install. I just got the ram mounts in the vise because the screws don't fit all the way through, and it's going to cause a problem when you go to install them. So very slight drill bit. Don't get it caught in the rag like it did like that. Could cause a mess. But now that's going to slide right through, make it easier to install. So that's the mounting system in a nutshell. I got some other attachments coming in for GoPro mount and an arm for my phone, and I could have that other section there for other things. But over 3 months, 3 months for something as simple as that. So for the rail system, this is some of the things I picked up. I got this universal tube clamp, which can clamp on that rail in the back. I can hook up a GoPro camera or something to it to get some video footage. But for my phone, I got this bullet point mounting solution set up right here, but it came with a 20 mil ball, which won't work for my setup. And then I bought a 20 mil ball with a 1/4 inch thread. They could thread into there, but then I decided to go with the adapter to go with the 1-inch ball that I already have, so I can mount this up right now and start using it for my phone. Actually, that works out quite well. I wasn't sure how it was going to be at first. Just gotta put my phone in there. Yeah, that'll work out just awesome. The little dash camera I bought Works pretty slick too. It's got a pretty unique video. Overall, am I happy with this product? I think it's pretty cool. However, I'm not a big fan of having to wait almost 4 months to get it. That part I'm not impressed on. Hello, Miss Carmen's. How are you? Are you sunbathing? Is that what you're doing? Being a lazy bones? Hey, how you doing? How you doing, Fluffball? Hey? Look at you. Just a big giant ball of floof. Got one more little project working on the TJ. Actually, there's a few things I gotta do to the TJ. And one of them is to find out where the oil leak is from. As you can see, it always leaves a big mess down there. And honestly, it's been getting kind of annoying. Something tells me it could be the oil sensor that could be leaking, but I don't think it is. It's not the rear oil seal either. I think it could be the camshaft sensor. That's what I'm thinking. But the only problem is, in order to replace that, I gotta pull the intake manifold off. But I'm gonna get the scope out tomorrow after I have a fire. We're gonna investigate that a little further because I really would like to get that fixed up because I'm getting sick and tired of leaving a puddle of oil wherever I go. You know, I spent quite a bit of money on this motor and I did the LS swap, and to be honest with you, I should have just bought a junkyard motor and redid it myself. I probably would have had a lot less problems in the end. I'm going to get a fire going. So I'm going to grab a beer from my fridge here. 7%. I'm going to grab this bad boy right here. Mad Scientist IPA. And that's what I'm going to drink tonight. Just getting the fire going. Wood's a little bit on the green side, but if you cut it up into small enough pieces, she'll burn just fine. In about 5 minutes or so, we're gonna have a pretty good fire. There we go. Starting to go now. If you can see at the bottom, I started my fire on a couple pieces of wood. So I got a nice base there. Starting to take off. Got my speaker on the side. Let's do some podcasts, smoke a cigar, drink a beer. Life will be grand. Well, it's a good night to have a fire, smoke a cigar, drink a beer. Now, the sadness comes. We gotta figure out where that oil leak's coming from. I'm gonna guess it's the cam sensor. Because if it's the rear oil seal, the flex plate would be covered in oil. And if there's no oil leaking from the oil sensor port up top, then it definitely has to be the camshaft sensor. Because camshaft sensor goes in, and right above where the crank is, where that cover is, there's a gap, and that's where the O-ring is for the camshaft sensor. And if it leaks, it's going to leak out the top of the engine. Not out of the top of the engine, but inside where the flywheel is, and leak down both sides, and then out. So normally the intake has to come off in order to get access, but I have this boroscope camera here, Teslong, and it's got 3 cameras, 2 on each side, 1 in the front, that we are going to stick down in the engine compartment and have a look. So I just ran the boroscope in. So it does look like it's wet up top, but is that the place where the oil's coming from? we need to investigate further. So there's the camshaft sensor right there. And as you can see, oops. Does look wet. Then the top of that gallery looks wet too. So this is just from a little over a week of sitting. When you look at it, it seems to be coming between the engine and the transmission. So one would assume that's the rear seal. I'm going to pop that inspection cover off and we're going to get a deeper look. So as you can see, the flywheel's dry. So we know the rear seal is not leaking. And I'm trying to get the camera up to the top there. It does look like there's some oil, but it doesn't look like it's wet. But maybe the camshaft seal isn't leaking. Maybe it's coming from up top. Maybe we got three things we got to look at. Either way, the intake's going to have to come off. So I just had to look at it. It's not confirmed. Is it the camshaft O-ring? Is it the oil pressure seal or O-ring? Or is it the valley gasket? We ruled it out. It's not a rear main oil leak, but we got a pretty good oil leak coming from somewhere. I want to know in the comments what you guys think. The next step is to remove the intake. Yeah, this camera sure comes in handy. Teslong NTS 500. Works like a beauty. Alright, it's motherfucking beer time now. We got some things to think about. Gonna crack open this tall timber ale from Mount Begbie Brewing Company. 5.2%. This is actually a really good beer. Alright, motherfucking beer time. This video's kind of all over the place. Started off ordering that part that took like 4 months, which I wish UPS didn't drop off. I could have just sent it back, but it is what it is. Nothing I can do about it now. I got it. Installed it. Seems okay. But got some problems with this Jeep that we got to take care of. And pulling the intake off is not really a big job, but something I'd rather not be doing. There's a few other deficiencies we got to take care of this thing as well. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. We got some more things to do in the future and a whole bunch of things to do in the JK. So I'll talk to you guys later. Take care, everybody.